So if you guys ever watched a build log, you probably heard the person talk about RAID, or how they're going to set their hard drives. Well, what is RAID? What is this mystical thing they call RAID? Well, that's what I'm here to answer today. If you guys want to support the channel, just go over and subscribe or hit that like button, comment because I like to see that, and anyways, let's get right to it. So if you're watching this video, I assume that you already know what RAID applies to, but if you don't, that's what I'm here for. Basically what RAID applies to is your hard drives or SSDs that are inside your system and how you can combine them to make them work as one instead of two separate hard drives. Now, why would you want to do this? Well, basically, when you combine the two hard drives to work together, it allows you to get faster read-write speeds, faster boot-up speeds, and also increases your redundancy for your hard drive. So if you lose a hard drive, then you don't lose all your data and the rest of it can be recovered, which for people that's a strong plus, not losing your childhood photos or whatever is on your hard drives. Now that we know that RAID applies to our hard drives, we need to know what types of RAID there are. Now basically RAID is numbered from 0 to I think 50 or something. It gets really complicated down the line, but basically the most commonly used RAID you find in today would be RAID 0, RAID 1, RAID 5, RAID 6, and RAID 10. And RAID 10 is just a combination of RAID 0 and 1. So to get started, the first thing we're going to need to know is 3 vocabulary words, one being striping. So basically what striping does is it takes the data you have, and let's just say that data is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and it'll put it vice versa, back and forth, 1, 3, 5, and 2, 4, 6 into both hard drives so that you have both hard drives with different data. Mirroring takes the same data but puts it into both hard drives so that you have two hard drives with the same data. This would be useful for faster read-write speeds and all that yada 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 stuff, which we'll get into when we talk about the RAIDs. Next thing would be parity, which takes your data and basically, this is very complicated. So it's binary, so you got ones and O's. So you got 1101 for A and 1110 for B. So basically, what it does is it looks through those data points and sees if it's the same or different. So if you were to lose some data, it would see, oh, A point is 1 and the parity code is 1, so that means it's the same. So it does that for the rest of the data points, and after doing that, the coding that's on the right hand side would be the parity. So now that we've gone over all of the things that we need to know, it's time to get into what RAIDs there are. So basically, the first RAID that is most common is RAID 0. So let's just say that we have data A, B, C, and D, and what RAID 0 does is it stripes the data between the two hard drives. This allows for faster read-write speeds, but the problem with RAID 0 is that if you lose one of the hard drives, you won't get the data back because that's only half the data. Next, we're going to look at RAID 1, which we're just going to keep our A, B, C, D data points. And basically what RAID 1 does is it just mirrors the data onto both hard drives. This also allows for faster read-write speeds, but this time it takes away from some storage because you're doing more data in both hard drives, which, could be a problem for some people. Next thing we need to look at is RAID 5, but the thing with this is you need at least 3 hard drives. So here we have hard drive 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to plot data points A, B, C, D, E, and F. So basically, the first thing that RAID 5 does is stripes the data across all 3 hard drives. The next thing it does is it does a parity of all of those hard drives so that you have a backup. Now, the good part about this is that it allows for, of course, faster read-write speeds. I'm guessing you sense a theme by now. And the high level of redundancy. But another problem is storage space because of the fact you're storing parity data now. So now the next RAID that we're going to look at is RAID 6. Now with RAID 6, the problem that most people might face with this is the fact that you need at least 4 hard drives. Now that could get expensive for a lot of people unless you could probably find a Black Friday deal coming up soon. So basically what this does is it stripes the data and then it does dual parity on it. And this basically allows for, of course, faster read-write speeds, a lot of redundancy, but once again the problem is the fact that you have to have 4 hard drives and not a lot of people have that. Next we're going to look at RAID 10, which is basically RAID 1 plus RAID 0, and you'll see why. Where in RAID 1 we stripe the data, or we mirror the data. In RAID 0 we stripe the data. So in RAID 10, what we're going to do is we're going to do both. So first it stripes the data between the hard drives, and then it does a mirror of the data, which basically allows for a lot of redundancy and for faster read-write speeds as always. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you are confused about anything I just said and would rather see it down in words, check the link in the description, and that will hopefully direct you in the right path. But if it doesn't, I'm sorry. But like the video, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything else. And yeah, see you guys later. Peace. Yeah.